All right. Most likely, the professional development you experience as a school leader is garbage. It's terrible. It sucks, honestly. And that's even if you are experiencing professional development. In writing my new book called Mastermind, Unlocking Talent Within Every School Leader, I came across some horrifying statistics. 2020 study done by NAESP and the Learning Policy Institute found that only 1 in 4 principals, listen to this, 1 in 4 principals had access to a mentor or coach in the past 2 years. That means most school leaders are going out there on their own without mentorship, without coaching. And that absolutely scares me, to be honest. The motto that we live by here at Better Leaders, Better Schools is called everybody wins when a leader gets better. Everybody wins when you get better. And here's the thing, with that kind of gravity, that kind of responsibility, right? If everybody wins when you get better, that's a beautiful thing. The inverse is also true. What happens if you're not getting better? And so I set out to change that. Back in 2015, started Better Leaders, Better Schools. It now is a smashing success, right? With 1.5 million downloads, 70 plus school leaders in 7 different cohorts from countries around the world where we get to support them on a weekly basis. And over here in this box, right? In this box I'm about to open up is a 2-year long project where I was invited by my senior editor, Ariel, and my publisher, Corwin, in AASA to tell our story of how we are changing the landscape of how school leaders experience professional development. So I don't even know. Well, I think it is. It says Corwin on the box. Now I don't know if moving my Mac, no, it won't work. Okay, so here's the box. I'm pretty sure. I think this is it. Ruckus Maker community. Listen, 2 years in the making. I think the book is here. I haven't seen a copy yet. So this is like a big deal. And I haven't said hello. So hey, it's Danny, Chief Ruckus Maker over at Better Leaders, Better Schools. And I am so excited to unbox what has been a 2-year long practice. And here is my invoice. Because ironically, I don't even think these are my author copies. I think these are some copies that I bought to give away. So that's cool. I'm still waiting. Whoa. Still waiting for my author's copy. That's all good. But there it is. Like, this is it. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to show this to you. So, without further ado, I have not seen this yet. There it is. It's in the flesh. Sorry, I try to look at the camera, but I want to make sure you could see this book. I love the cover. The coolest thing working with Corwin, like, listen, I am a ruckus maker. I think out of the box. I don't play within the lines too nicely. And so the coolest thing working with Corwin has been that all of my dreams come true. One thing, like, this isn't a knock on Corwin. This is a observation in general. This is my opinion when looking at education books. I think most covers are super boring, very conservative, not taking any risks and that kind of thing. And so the story behind this cover, which is like, it's awesome. That cover, we knocked it out of the park. Okay. I say that humble brag, #humble brag. I told Ariel, who was the editor, tell your design team to create the cover of their dreams, given the content, right, of this book, the message that we're trying to put out there, again, changing the landscape of how school leaders experience PD. And this is what they came up with. And I love the colors, I love this hand. This is your hand holding the key, right? One of the assertions I make is that isolation is a choice, right? You don't have to lead that way. Leadership is never going to be easy, but the easier path is for sure being able to do it in community. Surround yourself with other amazing leaders. And so that's part of the story of what we tell in this new book. Another cool thing, too, it's kind of hard to see, but Paul Bambrick Santoyo, listen, he's a really big deal. He does great leadership content. He wrote Leverage Leadership. I remember as a baby school administrator, DeAndre Weaver gave me a copy of Leverage Leadership and said, like, read all this. This is how you lead. And it was a hugely impactful book. So that's super cool. I see that the hand made it on the back too. Look, little picture of me. That's me. Amazing. And it's cool. It has my just cause on the back, right? To connect, grow, and mentor every school leader who wants to level up. Now, that is special right there. Another dream, right? I told you that everything I wanted in this book, they made happen. And so one of the things I wanted readers to experience. So if you bought the book and you don't want a surprise, this is a spoiler alert. So like pause or stop watching. If you're okay with the surprise, check this out. When you open the book, look at that. Pictures of people in our community. These are real Mastermind members. And it was really important to me to show the community that I have the honor and the privilege of serving. And so that was really fun. I'm glad that made it into the book. There's book praise, of course, Paul's forward, and then just the rest of everything, which looks great. It's conversational. It's well researched. There's tons of case studies that tell our members' stories so that you can see yourself within this book. And if you are a school leader and you're searching for a way to lead better, to lead in community, to have and increase your impact and influence, I'm telling you, this is the ticket. It reveals all the secrets. Okay, like this is really a good book. And awesome reflection questions. And the last thing too, it's actually kind of hard for me to talk right now because this is just such an exciting moment to share. And like it looks good. Like it's really sharp how it's been created. When we talk about challenging and changing the landscape of how school leaders experience PD, I'm going to end on this point, but it's 4 parts I want to make. So number one, writing the book was a difficult process, right? Anybody who's written a book, like they'll tell you it's not so easy. It was a 2-year-long process from starting the talks to writing, getting it published, and here it is in the flesh, like in my hands, like, wow, okay? And so one of the things I learned, early drafts had really awesome content. And if you've been listening to my podcast, you've heard this story, but maybe you need to hear it with fresh ears today. To write a better book, I stopped writing a book. I started going out into nature. I started going, it's kind of hard to see her right here, but little Alba, we went on these walks at Berry Park here in central New York. And the key to writing a better book was to stop writing. So many leaders slog through. They keep pushing. They put in more hours. They skip meals. They don't take care of themselves just so they could finish the never-ending to-do list. That is stupid. Don't do that, right? And so if you can learn anything from what I've learned writing the book, to write a better book, I stopped writing a book. I took walks in nature with Alba, really dreamed about, what made the Mastermind special. Because honestly, the feedback I got from my editor was content is good, but the organization right now, it stinks. It needs to be better. And that was scary for me because the first book I wrote, I paid somebody to package the book, put it in book form. I paid an editor, right, to take my crazy ideas and organize them for me. She did that and did a great job in the first book. Second book, that was my job now. And I wondered, do I have what it takes in order to organize this book? And so the light bulb moment for me is I need a framework. And I think maybe at around that time, we might have been reading Radical Candor by Kim Scott in the Mastermind. And she has a framework. It's just a graph, right? Y-axis, x-axis. And she's talking about feedback. She's talking about candor and communication. And her thing is if you can uh, challenge directly and care personally, that creates what she calls radical candor. And people receive what you are willing to share when you care personally and challenge directly. Okay. And so that you could see, like I've memorized that because of a framework. I think about Rory Vaden's work, Procrastinate on Purpose. He has a thing called the focus funnel. And basically, when you have a task, can you eliminate it? Some of us forget, like you could just say, no, this task is not worth my time, delete, right? So there's eliminate, there's automate, delegate. And if you get through those 3 levels and still can't get rid of the task, you choose to procrastinate. Can you wait? And then it kicks up and goes back to the funnel. Or now do you have to actually concentrate and do the task? And that's why he calls it's a really nifty title, right? Procrastinate on purpose, because you're being intentional with that procrastination. So I knew the key was a framework. And here's the last 3 parts. So in the woods, walking with Alba, I thought, okay, I serve in the education space. Could I come up with a framework that was catchy, that was interesting, that would spread by word of mouth in the education industry? And what's education built on? What is the foundation? ABCs, 1, 2, 3. And so I thought to myself, what is a framework I could build around the concept of the ABCs of powerful, right? Value added, return on investment, professional development. And so I started playing with those letters. And I came up with A is for authenticity, B is for belonging, and C is for challenge. In my view, authenticity is made up of psychological safety, self-awareness, and being values-driven. Belonging is about shared purpose, inclusive environments, and trust. And challenge is about leadership mindset, taking action, and a powerful community. And so that's the book, right? It starts with the problems that school leaders are facing within professional development. It shares the research. It sets up what could be a potential solution. And then it tells the story of the mastermind, going through the lens of the ABCs of powerful professional development that I just shared with you. And again, well-researched, conversational, funny. It's funny and just so good. I think you're going to love it. Relate with it. It's going to change your life. Okay. So if you're in education, pick this book up, right? If you're in my network, maybe you are a business leader, or we were, college peers or high school, friends, whatever. If you have an educator in your network, if your kid goes to school, this book, this message is going to lift up all of us. So I highly, highly ask you to consider picking up a copy for yourself and school leaders in your network. Last thing I'll say, in the description of this video, on my website, only on my website, and for the rest of the month of October, there are some amazing bonuses, autographed copies, content that got cut out of the final draft, a simple opening activities checklist, a curated leadership book list of every book we've read in the Mastermind since 2016. You know how there's references in every book, right? Every article, every book, every idea that I quoted in here, all linked up for you. You could go directly to the source. There's so much more good stuff too. So that URL is linked up in the description. It's also called betterleadersbetterschools.com/mastermind book, and you can get your bonuses, unlock them there. There's a free book club that's actually starting this evening. So betterleadersbetterschools.com/ let me even see. maybe free book club, Mastermind book club. I don't even know the name. Let me check this out really quick. Mastermind book club. I want to get you that URL, but it is in the description of the video. Yes, Mastermind Book Club, all one word. That's going to be a free experience, and so we're gonna meet Mondays, starting today, October 18th, through December. I want to say 20th, 7 p.m. Eastern, so that's 6 Central, 4 Pacific. Just talking about the ideas, meeting other amazing school leaders, and you get to read along with me, the author, and ask questions and have an awesome discussion. So that's, I think, all I want to say. I can't believe it. It's here. It's finally here. 2 years of hard work, and we did it. So thank you for considering. I hope you pick up a copy. Bye for now and go make a ruckus.